Comparing fractions using a number line. Looking at non-unit fractions. We have learned how to plot non-unit fractions on the number line. Here we have a line divided into 5 equal parts, so fifths, and we have selected the third point along, so it is showing 3/5. Let's look at using number lines to compare non-unit fractions. Non-unit fractions are fractions with a numerator other than 1. Here we have 4/6 and 3/4. Which fraction is larger? We draw a number line between 0 and 1. Then, for 6, we divide the line into 6 equal parts. Label our 6 and select 4/6. It is very important the parts are equal so that the point is in the correct place. Next, for quarters, we divide the line into 4 equal parts. Label our quarters and select 3/4. You can see the fraction that is furthest along the number line is larger. So 3/4 is larger than 4/6. Here we have 3/4 and 7/10. Which fraction is smaller? We again draw a number line between 0 and 1. For quarters, we divide the line into 4 equal parts. Label our quarters, then select 3/4. Next, for tenths, we divide the number line into 10 equal parts. Label our tenths and select 7/10. We can see 7/10 is smaller than 3/4. In fractions, the denominator shows how many equal parts between each whole number. The numerator shows the number of equal parts in the fraction. Let's look at fractions that are equal to or greater than 1 whole. Here we have 10/10 and 10/8. Which fraction is larger? This time, we draw our number line between 0 and 2. To show tenths, we divide each whole number into 10 equal parts. Then we can label our tenths, so 1/10, 2/10, 3/10, 4/10, and so on. We get to 9/10, and 10/10 is our whole number 1. Now, for eighths, we divide each whole number into 8 equal parts. This shows our eighths. Then we label them, so 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, 4/8, 5/8, 6/8, 7/8, 8/8 is our whole number 1, 9/8 is 1 and 1/8, and 10/8 is 1 and 2/8. Now we can see that 10/8 is larger than 10/10. With our knowledge of fractions, we can make statements about them using number lines. Here we have eighths and thirds on number lines. We can see that 2/3 is smaller than 7/8. Next, we can see that 1/3 is larger than 1/8. And we can also see that 2/3 is larger than 5/8. There are lots of ways we can describe the fractions to show our understanding. With fractions, the denominator shows the number of equal parts to make a whole, and the numerator shows the number of parts in this fraction. Understanding where on the number line fractions are helps us to compare the size of fractions and use them in different situations.